at the beginning of every live now, because technically, like, it has been quite a bit of time since the last time we got to sit down and talk with you guys. So y'all know the drill. Let us know when you can hear and see us. But
that's before the holidays, right?
I don't know. I don't know. That's
the
really
holidays
bad.
Were busy, so that's hard to keep track
that's
of.
really bad. Let me see. 2 weeks ago. So we're not doing too terrible, but it was goodbye 2022. So we were either right on the precipice or right after the new year. So it's been an exciting time. We've had lots going on, some great things, some like terrible things. 2023 is kind of starting out a little rough. Like just
a little rough. Around the time when that super cold Arctic blast came through, I think?
It was like right after.
Okay.
It was like right after, because the Arctic blast came through around Christmas time. And here we are on January 18th, I believe.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I know my dates.
I had to look that
here we are on January 18th, and it has been quite a bit of time since we last spoke. Whereas last time it was super cold, it's raining, and it's been very mild here lately, but nothing that isn't... It's not surprising in Indiana. You never know. Yeah. We had the weekend. It was balmy. We actually got into the bees about a week or so ago.
Yep.
To make sure that they were still all alive and kicking.
Spread some sugar on top. Talked to a guy that had a lot of hives. And that was one method he recommended, was just lay on some newspaper, spread some sugar on top.
Yeah.
Because last year we had some issues with moisture in our bees. And so that works for him.
Yeah, looking for a way to kind of cut down on the moisture, but also feed. Because anybody that doesn't know that, like, sugar will absorb the moisture. And sugar, I don't think bacteria can grow on sugar. So that makes it really nice for the bees, because it will pull all of the moisture and create a nice little sugar block, and also allow them to have a little bit of something to eat in the winter months. So they go through their stores. Anybody doesn't have honeybees, they go through their stores. So we try to inspect a little bit throughout the year. And at the very end, we'll look for varroa mite counts, and we'll try to figure out if they look like they're strong enough. These guys usually look like they're strong enough. They had plenty of stores, I think, but it's never bad to try to help them. But we kind of balance between wanting survivor bees and babying them. I want survivor bees, but I also know that sometimes reestablishing a hive or catching a swarm can be difficult. So it is one of those things you just kind of have to weigh the good and the bad.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Sam Mosher in here. Hello, Sam. Hello, Sheila, Northern Indiana. How's the weather up there? We're like East Central.
Patty, congrats on 3 years.
Yes, thank you.
Patty's been with us since
Patty pretty much has been with us.
Same thing is with Patty. I feel like I've known her a lot longer.
I know. Patty, how's the new digs going? You enjoying that?
Yeah.
I saw you have like this. Did you have the skyline floor pattern? Did I see that correctly in one of your posts? Because like I was like, ooh, I like the flooring, because we've been looking at flooring here lately, just because we beat the ever-loving tar out of our laminate, and we need something that's going to be a little bit more waterproof and not.
The funny thing is how far laminate's come in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's really weatherproof now. Waterproof, which helps a bunch because of our dogs going in and out. We have a couple of house dogs, so
we're just as
and
bad.
out of the barn. I ended up this year buying like commercial rugs for the entryways, which help a lot.
Yeah, he did. Our
traffic,
niece walked in. She's like, "Where did these come from?"
They're not
Amazon.
stylish by any means, but they work well.
They do. Duty. Hi, Arisha. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. It's okay if you can't stay.
Yeah, glad you could pop in.
Rain is coming. Rain is here, Sheila.
For us,
so it's here.
We can hear it blowing against the window to our right. That's why I keep looking over.
Yeah.
So there's some wind with
which is always awful here, because we have country internet, so we're like constantly trying to watch like because our internet was acting really wonky all day today. We both work remotely, for anybody that's new in our chat tonight, so we rely a lot on our internet to get us through our professional lives. I don't want to say it's a career, because I don't want to box myself into just insurance, but it pays the bills. It pays the bills. So nice rain here. I hate it. I hate the rain because of the mud, but I do like that it's mild enough that it's rain and it's not snow or ice. So Patty did say the place is nice and comfy, and yes, skyline flooring. That's super cool. And I'm glad it's comfy. I always worry about that, like in new places. Like sometimes you go to a place and it feels like home, and sometimes like you have to warm up to it. So I'm glad it feels comfy. Hello, Rockin' Robin. How are you? Good to see you. How's all your goaty goats doing? Are you guys kidding yet? Let me see here because I'm gonna get behind and I don't want to do that. So Patty said the flooring is beautiful. I need an area rug to soften the place up though. I need to do some major shopping. That's not a terrible thing.
That sounds like a fun time.
I like to go I would take a day off and go when like nobody's going to be there because people. I like to shop, but people.
There's Emma. I feel like
hello, Emma. Emma from Sony's Place.
I will
How
say,
are you doing?
I saw one of her stories right before we hopped online, and it had her puppy in it. It said puppy snuggles. So I don't know. Are
you getting puppy snuggles, Emma?
I don't know if that's a new puppy or hers.
Did you get a new puppy?
I can't remember if she got.
I saw you're hanging out with Anne this last weekend, weren't you? Because I was so jealous.
Like a German Shepherd. A pretty.
But it looked like you were getting to do lots of fun things. I saw your smooth like butter post on Instagram and was like, yes.
Yep.
The cream. There's something magical about the cream on the top of the milk from any fresh dairy that just is like, oh, so nice. So nice. Yeah, Patty says, I'm not a big people person when shopping either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people get rude when they're shopping. Or maybe that's me. Maybe I'm the rude one and I just don't want anybody around me. I don't know.
The one place we visit off and on is IKEA. So they have a lot of modern stuff, which Ashley definitely doesn't like. Yeah. But they also have like some of that. They have
some cool stuff though that's kind of homey.
Chic, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, shabby chic.
Which we have quite a few items around our house.
Yeah.
IKEA.
It's fine.
But you do have to assemble all of them, and some of them are crazy.
Yeah. And even though I like the shabby chic, I always let everything be adorned with a nice layer of dust because we're always out there and never in here. So I was like at our church what was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I was testifying how I'm not a good homemaker. Like I don't do good with housework, but my barn is like always nice because that's where I'm at. And I don't know, I guess that's where I find my self-worth. I don't know.
Yep.
So Rockin' Ramen says, we will start kidding in the beginning of March, but I'll be selling all my mini alpine does this May, and we'll be getting Nigerian dwarf for, Kidco's nice. I've seen lots of nice Kidco stock. So good for you. Yes, good for you.
Although I do like alpines, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if we had to do standard breeds, I like Togs and he likes alpines, so we might do Togs and alpines.
When I grew up, I showed alpines. So
yeah, and they both seem like they're not like the bigger breeds are like a medium-sized breed. Especially alpines are bigger than Togs though, aren't they? Because Togs tend to be a little bit on the smaller side, which is probably why I like them. So Emma says, new puppy. Someone brought her to the office and I got to snuggle with her.
That's cool.
That is nice because then you don't have to worry about like the chewing and the potty training. You just get like all the snuggles.
You can just hit it
and puppy breath. What is it about puppy breath that is amazing?
It's like our parents say about grandkids. So you can just spend some time with them and then send them home.
I'll
Usually
never
after feeding them sugar.
Walking in, Joe was like 7 years old and we had to go somewhere pretty early and she'd spent the night at my mom's. I walked in and my mom is feeding her ice cream for breakfast. And I was like, what is this? I never got ice cream for breakfast. She's like, she's my grandkid and I don't have to have her for the rest of the day. And then promptly got her dressed and sent her on her way with us. So that is kind of like a grandbaby type way of looking at it.
Patty said IKEA has great stuff for organizing. They definitely do. I love how they can really cater to small spaces too. So they can make like a lot of room and usage out of a very tiny area.
Yeah. I can find lots of inspiration from inside IKEA and the whole putting it together. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know.
I've had 2 or 3 Facebook posts about putting together their stuff.
And all of them mentioned doors. So.
One of them
probably why we don't go to IKEA.
One of them mentioned that it felt like I was on a Lord of the Rings journey because it was taking so long. That was our entertainment center, and it had stuff everywhere. Well, I always end up with extra screws and bolts too, but nothing's falling apart.
Everything stayed pretty stable. So thankfully,
that's a win.
Divorce and Lord of the Rings travel to Mordor. I guess that's what it's like. Emma said, I had so much fun at Anne's helping on the farm and learning from her. She's so stinking smart and has such a sweetheart. Well, that's good. I'm glad. And it's good that you get to go somewhere and experience things like without having to commit to them. I think a lot more people should take that approach. What?
Yeah, like a little hair.
I was going to say like it's tickling me. But I think a lot more people should actually seek out to take that approach to actually go. And for someone that like wants them to be there, like Anne wants you to be there and you get along with Anne, but finding someone that is open to having you to like their property to show you how you do things, and so that you can kind of experience them without going like all in, because I usually go all in and then after the fact I'm like, oh. Yeah. So kudos to you for going at things that way, and kudos to her for being open and letting you come and do that, because I know that's got to be super special.
Yeah. We got 2 votes for puppy breath.
Is wonderful. I don't know what it is either, because it's like not stinky, but it doesn't smell great.
Yeah, it's probably better than cud chewing breath. You've had that a couple times.
Yeah,
from goats when they burp up their cud. That's always nice.
Yeah, it's usually right in your face. Yeah. It's like this far from your face. They wait till I'm like having a moment and talking to them, and then it like,
yep.
Like, thank you. All right. Thanks for interrupting that moment.
We never got llama spit, right? With our llamas.
He tried to spit at me one time, but I had the halter and I was giving him a dewormer.
Yeah, I remember I knew it was coming. Dogs a couple of times.
He spit at the dogs, and like the greener and like more terrible it smells, like the deeper from within their stomach they had to pull it.
Yeah,
I would love to have llamas again, y'all guys. Like seriously, if I weren't scared to death of meningeal worms, like I probably would definitely have 2 or 3 llamas, and rather than the donkeys.
Yeah.
So Patty says the utility of the space is so well thought out. I have a bit of an organized fetish. So.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I can understand
Patty.
that. I have a issue with that too. Yeah, but yeah, they're so cool how like they'll have the whole like, I don't know, like the house or room set up, and then they'll have it all laid out. So you like, it's like you're walking through the space.
That's how they sell you on it.
Though. I know, but
it's just like a catalog. It's like you can kind of see it in
it's
action.
Like, especially with the tiny house craze and all that stuff, it's just neat seeing how small a space somebody. Yeah. Really, you think about it, it's a neat idea. Like
it is a very neat
here we honestly spend so much time outside, especially during the summer. It's like the house is just sort of where we go in, sleep, get some food and eat.
We
and
don't
then
do
go
a whole
back out.
lot in the house, and it shows.
So you have a beautiful area around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother, he did some overlanding, and they actually just bought a place, but he bought like really rural property in Tennessee. It's fully off grid, and there's no electric or water. So he had a little camper shell he actually built on the back of his truck bed. And it's that way. Like he had to use every bit of space in that camper because he had all his belongings in it, and that's not a lot of space. So I agree. I think it's cool how they can organize, and
I think it's cool how people can live like in an overlanding situation. Because I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
There's no barn. Is there not a barn on wheels? Because if there's no barn, I'm not living that way. But Emma says totally agree. You know how much I've been wanting goats, but she actually talked me out of it inadvertently. Anne, what the heck? We're considering a couple beef cattle instead. I'm going to be honest, goats are not for everyone. Like, and they will tell you very quickly if they're for you or not. And I think going to someone's farm and watching like how they are and how you have to work with them. I mean, especially like in my last couple weeks, like I would tell you, like, it's not for them. I mean, goats have this wonderful way of wanting to be in places that they shouldn't be, doing things that they shouldn't do, and plotting suicide or homicide most of their lifetimes. I mean, they really, when they say curiosity killed the cat, it should be curiosity killed the goat. I mean, because like literally goats will get themselves in the worst positions, and then you're left trying to.
Well, case in point, if anybody follows us on Facebook, we had a situation that unfortunately we lost one of our goats due to curiosity. That was an accident.
I have no idea how she got in the situation that she got in. It was
some
terrible.
Facebook talks about that,
I will have a video on it, but it's going to be it'll be a while, guys. Dilly was a while. Like this one might be even longer because like I just can't. Like I've never said that I want to quit and I want to sell every single goat on my farm and I want to walk away from it. I've never ever said that.
And I mean, I've talked to people that also like have, people that babysit their farm while they're out of town and stuff like that. And most of the complaints I've heard from people that farm sit or people we've had on YouTube, like my family when I was growing up, we had some neighbors doing stuff. They're always complaining about the goats. Like the goats wanted to get out. The goats didn't do what they wanted to, want them to do. We had a couple that they had to milk, and the one just kept kicking the pail and kicking the person milking. So it was like, that was the primary complaint. The chickens were fine. We had cows at one point. They were fine. It was the goats. which are very
Even
hands-on.
hogs, I mean, with as smart as they are and stuff, they're pretty complacent. Goats are not complacent, like ever. And it doesn't take much to make them want to get on the other side of a fence.
Yeah.
So Rock and Robin asked, when will we be kidding? We start. Oh, now that you asked.
She goes bringing out the manual.
Let's get the planner out and get the exact day.
The official kidding manual's out.
My first due date is March 11th. March 11th, and I have one on March 11th and March 13th, and I have 1, 2, 3.
So
4, 5,
last
6,
year, I think we talked about in our last live, we took the approach of spreading it out, thinking, oh, we'll just have a couple each week. And then, of course, as you guys probably know, that raised goats due dates started swinging left, before and after. Things started crossing, and I think Ashley and I got very little sleep for about 2 months. I know she was going out to the barn constantly,
and he's a weirdo. If I'm out of the bed, he can't sleep.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well,
I
want
to know what's going on out there. And if she's gone too long, I'll get up and go out. And it's usually something's happening. So this year we're going to try to really crunch it down,
which didn't work. It didn't work.
It did a little bit,
kind of. I do have one day where I have 7 does due on one day.
Babies just popping out everywhere.
So
it's gonna be like
and I mean, Rock and Robin,
popcorn machine.
If one is going into labor, another one is like, I'm expecting it's going to be wham bam. I'm going to have multiples going at a time, which is fine as long as they all don't need assistance, know. And most of the time they're not always going to need assistance, but I'm a hover parent when it comes to goats, like kidding. So yeah, Emma says, broke my heart when you shared that on Facebook. Love you, girl, and sending thank you. That was
that was a tough one.
Probably the worst that it's ever been. Like deep depression, still trying to like crawl out of the hole. But making myself stay in the barn, like in bonding with those goats that are still there. You can't just throw all of them to the wayside just because of one, even though like I was 100% prepared to do that about a week ago. So Rock Rob says, I started showing pigs this year, and his curiosity is definitely going to get him into a lot of trouble. Yes.
Typically do.
Yes. We are definitely looking into piggies too. We have some things that are waiting. Did we tell them?
We didn't say anything because we don't know anything yet.
Yeah. Can we say anything?
I don't think we can because we don't know anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, crap.
we have a bunch of projects.
We have lots of things that are like, I guess you could say, on the horizon. And I feel like we're running as fast as we can towards them at the horizon, and it's not getting any closer. It just feels like it just keeps sinking into the distance. So we do have lots of things that are like on the horizon that I cannot wait, if it happens, to share.
I can't remember if we did or not, but at a high level, I'll just say it. So like the farmer next door was thinking about breaking off some of their land and possibly selling it, but that was like a little while ago, and now
that was like in November, and we haven't really heard anything back. But it's the purpose for them selling is not a good. It's not good. It would be good for us, but for them, I mean, it's basically coming down to like a separation and having to settle debts. So my heart of heart wants them to settle off on their relationship and to not have to sell their land, but the greedy side of me says, sell the land, because it would probably be around at least 10 acres, like right next to us. And it would be all wooded, which is not always the best when it comes to homesteading, but to run pigs in the woods, it's perfect. To run goats to forage, it's perfect. To do a couple other different things. We're wanting to practice bushcraft. It's more foraging area. It's more deer hunting area because it's very wooded and the deer traffic goes over there. It's perfect. But it's on the horizon, and we
just took that and ran with it.
I did. Well, you shut up. You shouldn't have like just said high level, because if you say high level, I'm like, nope, dive. Here we go.
Noticed.
This is how we do
things.
We're
just waiting to see, because like being vacant land, it would take quite a bit of money down. Talking to the bank and stuff, and several other banks. So like setting that aside, but then also we have like several other projects. We actually had that money set aside for to possibly jump into the spring.
Now they're on hold.
So now it's like a holding pattern that's sort of tough. And anybody that has farms or homesteading stuff knows, like there's always projects you want to spend money on or get or do. And
And there's lots we want to get, and there's lots that we want to do. But this land possibility on the horizon has got a lot of things tied up for us.
Unfortunately, we're not made of money, and our chickens are almost laying gold eggs because of the egg prices, but not quite.
Even though we're down to 12 from 34.
Yeah.
You guys will see a video on that soon because of the fox. But it's been I still feel like we're in pretty good spirits, even though I know, you know who that is. That's Willow.
I was gonna say Pancake.
Hello, Pancake.
Hi,
Ashley. How are you? Evelyn, welcome. No need to apologize for being late. We're just glad that you're here sharing time with us. I know. Well, he goes high level, and I'm like, well, if you're going to just give them a sneak peek, like, I'm just going to go all in. Yeah. That's just not how I roll, Emma.
Yeah.
I
try to keep it high level because it's like so many unknowns. And also,
Emma knows this.
We don't know if anything will ever happen.
I don't think I ever do anything high level, though.
That's true.
Is that good or bad?
I love you either way. Well, I'm not kidding. I love you.
I'm kidding. I love you either way. Just kidding. Darren, hello. Hey, guys. Hope you and everyone are doing amazing tonight, and the gods have been smiling on you.
They have, and we are.
Yep. Thank you. We hope that you are doing well, and the gods are smiling on you, too. I saw your video on fake homesteading, and it made me giggle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you get to see that? You'll need to.
I think so.
I'm
behind on YouTube.
I won't.
I've been pretty busy.
Give you any spoilers, but it's pretty hilarious. Okay. It made me laugh a lot. What? You could pay the mortgage with eggs now. I know. Isn't that awful? It's so bad.
There was never a less ideal time than to lose most of our flock.
Our laying chickens.
And then not only the eggs, but we were pricing
prices
chicks.
Are insane. Yeah. Like chicks
Way
that I was paying
expensive.
like $3 to $5 for last year, depending on what sex they were. $17 a chick unsexed from some of the hatcheries that I'm used to going and looking at. So we'll be doing hatcheries. I will buy shipping eggs from outside, or whenever eggs start coming around here, then we'll incubating them. But until then, like, I'm not, because I mean, the way I look at it, and I know anybody that's ever had chicks, they're very fragile. Even if I was going to the hatchery that I could drive to and pick them up, they are still fragile. You know, like you could get them here and they all seem healthy, and the next day you come out and you've got 3 or 4 dead. I mean, that's not uncommon for day-old chicks. Doesn't matter how much you coddle and baby, but you know, life is what it is.
We have an insider for chicks, so
yes,
Ashley in the chat. She's my sister.
Yeah,
and, we actually got some eggs from her last year and hatched them, and we honestly love the breed. It's the Labrador Orpington. We've talked about them several times. She's got big, beautiful chickens, and we definitely were happy to have them. But they, unfortunately, they were ones that got taken by the fox. So it's always the ones you really like and want to keep. Not that we wanted any.
It's like that with all things. I mean, I think any chicken that I've ever like named as well is always the one that got taken by like the weasel or the hawk or whatever. So chickens are just chickens here. Nobody has a name except for Karen, because Karen will never die because she's the flightiest, most schizophrenic chicken ever. Nothing could ever sneak up on her, and she's got like one tuft. And she's got a hair like a Karen hairdo. Hence why we call her Karen. Karen will never die.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, Mama Burton.
I always like when remember back in the old days when
hi, Mom.
Guys, like kids would get on TV and they're always like, hey, Mom. I like that.
Oh my gosh. So some of the new things that are going on here outside of, you know, egg prices, tragedies with the chickens, tragedies with the goats. Yes. Yes.
Where's Ann at?
Much cheaper in 17. Where's Ann at? And when would we go? Because if it's during kidding season, you know I'm not going to leave this far. There are some good things though, outside of all of like, even though while we're talking, I feel positive about things until like we go back in retrospect and I'm like, fox killed all the chickens. My best goat died freakishly. And you know, the land, we don't know about it yet. And we're waiting here and we're waiting there, but I do feel pretty positive. We've got lots of things on the horizon. We're preparing for kidding season. Marky just started construction on my permanent kidding stalls and our kidding lean-to. I love my side L panels, but we decided we do want something semi-permanent there, even though like I will leave that for a video because I really like how we've got this kind of figured out to make it to take advantage of as much space and make it as versatile as we can while also serving a specific purpose. I started my beginning farmer classes with Master Gardener.
Oh.
Yeah, Master Gardener too. So I started classes with Purdue for beginning farmer last week.
Was that a secret?
Super fun. I hadn't announced it yet, but it's okay. I was going to announce it now. So
I thought you forgot what it was called.
No, and I submitted my application to Purdue's Master Gardener program. I'm going to stalk you. I don't know. Then YouTube probably take us off for spousal abuse. But I am going through application process to take my Master Gardener class to be certified, and then I'll have to do like 35 volunteer hours in my community, which is fine. I have lots of ideas for my community that I would love. I can't wait to reach out to some of the people that do community development and to be a little bit more present within our local community, because like I said in a couple videos back, and actually community has been like one of my focus words for this year. Because like we couldn't do any of this really without a community. I wouldn't do YouTube if it weren't for you guys. I mean, I probably wouldn't show goats if it weren't for the people around me in the goat community that like I look up to and I aspire to be, and I love being around, and they encourage me and I try to encourage them. I mean, community is super important. And while I have that, like in a lot of different aspects, I really want to find community within my locally. I mean, I want it locally. I want to feel like I'm connected to my little town up there that's like 5 minutes away that I'm in all the time, but I don't know almost anybody's name in because like I'm a transplant technically. So I want to connect with my community. So that's part of what I'm doing.
Ashley said she has a Karen chicken as well. Lays weird thin shelled eggs.
Really?
It's like easy break eggs.
I
Like they have like the easy open pill bottles. That's like easy.
I don't know if it's her.
Darren said they have one as well, but thankfully theirs can't find a manager.
I tell her all the time, you can't complain because I am the manager. Yep. You can't ask for the manager, Karen. I am the manager.
And Emma asked, Ann asked me to go with her to Chick Days at a Farm Girl in the Makings place. But it's in March, and you'll be in the kidding.
If it's a super late March, I have kidding, but in late March, like the last weekend of March, I'm going to be speaking at the Patriot Homesteaders Conference on raising goats. So that is March. Is that March? No, it's April. No, that's late March. Hey, Kim, what's going on, lady? How are you? Kim is my goat friend from I got real high pitched. I'm really excited to see you, Kim. Kim, you guys will actually get to see him a little bit in a video here shortly about ultrasounding. Even though I'm not going to tell any of you the ultrasound results, we're not going to give any of that away.
I did feel bad in that
because
clip that when the dogs bust into the room.
Oh my God, Ashley, if you're still here, we caught it on film when you tried to move Django and he became a diva and screamed. I don't know why.
He acts like you're killing him, so it scares you to death.
Literally, there is a 20-second clip that I was like, what is this? And I clicked it from like my camera and it was just that. I was like, this is perfect. I came in here. I'm like, Mark, look. I caught it on film. Kim came over to help me ultrasound my girls, though.
Karen in him.
He does have a bit of Karen. He thinks he's the manager, though, of all things. So, like, he's ultra Karen. He is an ultra Karen.
Yep. But if you're in Indiana, the Patriot Homestead meetup is something.
It's the end of Is it the end of April or is it the end of March?
You just said March, is it?
Dang it, I don't know. I can't keep things. We've got so many things going on. I'm sitting here with my planner in front of me because I'm like, what is happening? I don't know. That might be the end of April, though.
I don't think you have that.
No, I have one goat due on it because I was like, we're in it. I bet it's Rapunzel. I think Rapunzel's due on that day. It is. It's the end of April. We'll talk.
Exactly.
We'll talk.
South of here, I thought. But.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours south. I speak on Saturday twice, and I speak on Sunday one time. So it's actually a 3-day event in southern Indiana. So if anybody is in that area,
March 24th.
March 24th. Okay, let me go back to that. Oh my gosh. It will be a squeeze because I got lots of them due not that far before that, but we might be able to do that, Emma.
Don't think I can spare her, Emma.
Tulips going right after that, and then Rosie married a mighty. I am tentative.
We'll have to have her on.
I am tentative. And that reminds me too, like we're starting to work on the Indiana Homesteading Conference again. What?
Hotline ring.
Hotline ring.
Yeah, have you on call for that? if you went down there.
Yeah, he probably would. He'd probably stress. Ashley, he'd probably call you. Ashley is for those of you who don't know, Ashley is my sister-in-law who also has Nigerian dwarf. She got her judging license. Big yay for Ashley because now I can pick her brain and be like, come tell me which goats suck.
She said she didn't hurt him either.
Huh?
She said she didn't hurt him either.
You didn't. I saw it. He was just being a diva.
All the time.
He was just being a diva. But big applause for Ashley because she worked super hard to get that judging license. Like seriously, and she gets to go to cool places now. Like she gets to go to Texas, and I think she's talking about Illinois. It's super amazing. It's a really, really great thing, really great opportunity, and I'm proud of her.
Goats everywhere.
Goats
That's
everywhere,
pretty much how it feels here, Darren. Pretty much.
Goats everywhere.
I saw you did like a pantry thing. I'm pretty sure if we did one, somehow there'd be goats in there. I mean,
well, there in our pantry there is always a goat every day because this Yahoo brings her in for cornflakes. Yeah. Her name is Squeakers. Yeah, she comes in every single day. Bunches of oats. She really likes the oats. Is it the oats? Honey bunches? I thought it was cornflakes.
And those little almond slivers. She likes those too. Because she is picky enough that she sort of noses through and picks out what she wants. She does that with your feed too. The alfalfa pellets, she pushes them off to the side. Watch her. I observe her habits.
I spy, Squeaker. I spy.
Kim said she had a ton of
high
fun
level
here,
guys.
Though.
High level. Did you good? Because we really liked having you over. I'm like super happy about it. I thought it was so fun, and I felt so bad for Kim because we're doing the ultrasounds, and I'm sure you guys will see it on the video. I'm like, oh, there's two babies because you
Ashley
can see
said
the
we'd
babies.
both be freaking out and calling you.
You guys would be fine. You'd be fine. And I called Kate up the road or my vet and be like, we need help.
Yeah.
Please come now.
Oh no, my sister raised goats too and was
actually
in the barn more than
credit,
me.
Ashley.
So she definitely knows goats.
See, I have 0 due in March, so I could do baby watch.
There you go.
Emma, it's looking more and more likely, lady. I'm just
Where's
saying.
that at, though? Emma, did you say
where is she at? Yeah, did you say?
I don't think so. And she just mentioned today.
I'm popping nerds, which Mark would call the aquarium pebbles.
Yeah. Yeah. I always laugh because I saw a meme and it said when you get a craving for aquarium rocks and it had like nerds because that's what they look like. The
so now every time, because I do love nerds, like I'm kind of addicted to candy,
the fruity
sugar. And Mark's like, oh, you have your aquarium pebbles over there? Yeah, I do. And they're delicious. Thank you.
Patty enjoyed the cereal that she eats. Yeah. So like when you pull it out of the pantry, so she'll stand there and look at you and back it up and
and then like semi-charge you and lick her lips.
Yeah.
And when she eats them, she wags her tail. Like anybody that's seen a baby goat like nurse or take a bottle, like her tail goes crazy. Tail goes crazy for honey bunches of oats. It's kind of crazy. In Nashville.
Ooh, I'd like to go down there. I love Nashville. Would be nice. It's
just for me.
Well, I could just walk around. I wouldn't need to be.
Look who's inviting himself along. You're on goat watch. You can't go on a vacation.
That's a cool town.
It is a cool town.
We went down there.
NRA's there next year, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we'll go down there for NRA.
Because we were down there, 6-7 years ago? Yeah. Had a great time. So
it was super fun.
I can never remember the name of it. What's that?
Parthenon.
Parthenon. Thank you. Which is cool.
Was it the Bellefontaine or? Yeah. It was like a horse racing like plantation.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Really, there's tons of history there. It was really, really neat. But yeah, one of our favorite places, one of the few places I've ever gone was like, I don't really want to leave yet. You know, city. We were there for a whole week, but yeah, we've got all kinds of things going. Just PM me.
Yep.
Drop it in my DMs. Okay.
It might be the only place to get chicks too.
Yeah.
It might demand.
Be. It might be.
Might have to go there just to get.
That's
look at Darren coming through strong. You and I could plan a trip to SHOT next year.
He would definitely take you up on there.
Yes.
He's been like watching the YouTube like video.
I tried to sneak Ashley into doing reviews for Pew Pews just so I could possibly get a media pass in, but
I think it would. Yeah, because I asked him like, is there any way you could get into that? And he's like, no, not really, not unless you like do social media. Or
I think they should just open up to the media one day, and I think
if the ATF is allowed to set up in there, they should open up to the media. I mean, that's never. We won't. Yeah, we won't. I'm sure Darren could talk forever on the shenanigans that the ATF is doing here in the United States right now.
So
stupid.
Jumping back to chicks, though, one thing we were talking about would be interesting to see is what Tractor Supply does with chicks, because they always have a chicks for sale in the spring and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see if they have prices, what their prices are.
It probably will hike, but the big thing in Indiana right now is, and it's really nothing super, super new because in order to do 4-H or to take your...
I'll stop and pick up Matt, Emma.
Yeah.
She said take Matt with you. Yep.
Oh, that would be super fun.
Matt would be
You guys are so much fun.
He'd be like a cool road trip buddy.
Yeah. But one of the things that we've noticed in Indiana, where chick days are being planned, that they're going to start taking names for they want your name and your address if you're going to be buying chicks from like Tractor Supply or Rural King. Now, this is really no different.
Because eggs are worth so much, they want tax information so they can collect taxes on your empire of eggs.
If you're going to make me put my tinfoil hat on, you've got to stop. My tinfoil hat's I'm gonna put it on and we're gonna rant.
I love French toast so
but
much.
Really, that's one thing that's got a lot of people here. They're like, I want to buy an incubator because I'll rather buy eggs from somebody that I know rather than put my name on a list, which my name is already on a list for livestock because in order to show or to do 4-H, I have to have a premise ID. So I have to be registered with the BOAH of Indiana, which is the Bureau of Animal Health, I think. Yeah. So and they know what I have on my farm, but I just thought that was kind of weird. And the USD asking us to submit when we have community or small gardens that we would like to let them know about. Hello, Kaylin. What's up? She's another Nigerian dwarf breeder.
I know.
Super excited.
Got to know him pretty well. Ashley talks about the Nigerian dwarf breeders pretty well.
Time.
Now Rockin' Robin's getting involved.
I know. I'm super excited for him. We can all just
overrun by
have the mini dwarfs. Goats. We could have all just the mini goats. Yep. Thorne said, "Shh, none of us talk on none of the talk on the YouTube." Yeah, I know.
But it was like
I know.
It's a funny thing though. Like you see all these memes about it because it's hit so many people though about the eggs. Like you'll see somebody with a basket of eggs and we'll trade for a 2019 truck. I know what I've got and stuff like that, but. It really is a shock though. You go to the supermarket. I mean, I had 2 or 3 people IM me about, hey, why are egg prices crazy? I've seen on Facebook.
My boss asked me, and she's in Maine, so she's like, "What is it because of the avian bird flu?" And I was like, "Well, that has to do with some of it." I'm like, "But there have been some major egg producing farms that burnt down this year too. That it's just taking it that long for it to actually hit." The market and for you to see a shortage, which also tells you how long that those eggs are sitting on a shelf or being processed before they ever get to you, which is why farm fresh is the best way to go. But that's the number one thing on our homesteading forums too, is people who has hens for sale, or where can I get chicks, or where can I do that? And it's just guys, it is really just best to wait and support the people around you that can supply you eggs when it's time. And a lot of people don't get it either. And right now my chickens are not laying a ton of eggs. Number one, because feed prices went through the roof, and I'm only feeding cracked corn and letting them forage. So my egg production is way down. They molted. The days are short. They lay according to the light that they're getting throughout a day. Not to mention, we like to take a very natural approach because a hen is only born with so many eggs in her system. So the faster I make her lay eggs or keep her producing, the quicker she's going to be useless to me. So I kind of just let nature take its course there. Which most people don't know that. It's same with humans. We're only born with a specific amount of eggs for our entire lifetime. Once they're gone, they're gone. So there's no reason to speed it up. Bomber Steve.
I know. That's what I was getting ready to say. I have an old friend in the chat here.
Oh my gosh.
He said his new job's keeping us busy. Are you still working with snakes though?
Yes. And is it like the season for you guys over there? Because your seasons are separate from ours.
Darren said that's strange. Register your garden. Darren, I think you know where that's
yeah. Why would we want to register our gardens here in the States? I mean, with food shortages.
Fable Hill just got back from dinner. Kelly's playing Play-Doh, so I had some free time. We're glad you spent the free time with us.
I'm glad you came and said hello to us. Yeah, I know, Kim. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. She says, "Yeah, I love those egg beams. We are finally getting eggs again after months of no eggs. It's wild." I know ours, because we've been kind of mild, just started giving us a few. Doesn't help that the fox decided to call a lot that we're not ready to be called.
Quantity of chickens.
It is what it is. It's very hard to get the routine of a fox. Fox are very smart. I didn't realize
it took 30 days to get to the grocery store. I knew it took some time, but man, not that long.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's a long time. Actually, come to my area. I have really been
you were talking to
thinking
my sister
about yes. Yes, I have really been thinking about it. And if I can't come, I would really like to like sponsor or send like some type of monetary gift to help you do that.
That whole process has gotten big recently. Like we went to Nail and they had some booths there about AI. And then there's that
all these people just like carrying around their semen tanks where I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like,
and then that I can't remember the name of the company. It starts with Blue though, but they're going around to all the big Nigerian.
Isn't it Blue Mountain Genetics?
I think so.
Is that what it is? Ashley would know, and I know Caitlin will know.
Yeah.
It's Blue Mountain.
But they're like making trips across the United States and just collecting from different big Nigerian breeders, which is really cool. Yeah,
for real. I am thinking about that though, Kaylin. There's so much on the counter I want to go to. It's awful. I'm sitting here with my planner because Emma was like, we should go do this. I'm like, let me see if I'm free. Guinness World Book of Records Food Truck Rally 2. So food trucks.
Yep.
Food trucks. You know, it's kind of amazing the food that comes out of food trucks nowadays. I remember like as a kid, it's like hot dogs and but like there's like good stuff. And I don't know if it's just because maybe I pay attention to it more now as an adult and I want something other than chicken nuggets.
That's something we're looking into our next
cheeseburger.
Next homestead that you're setting up. So
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Well, there's still a lot of moving parts.
Well, there's a lot of moving parts and we just need to nail down a couple of things before we can really get rolling. So Darren said we had to break down and buy store-bought this week. So Overcast and the coop wasn't getting any light. I know, it's tough. It really is tough. Mark told me that I was just like my dad the other day, though, because I'm like, I have something super precious in my pocket.
Valuable.
So valuable. I'm like, I might be able to pay on the mortgage for our house. He's like, do you have an egg in your pocket? Yeah. He's like, that's something your dad would do. I'm like, shut up. So he was telling me I was pulling the dad jokes. So I guess it's that time. Summertime here. Oh my God, I wish it was summertime here. Snake season in full swing. Funny season due to the cold, wet spring.
Oh, really?
Does that mean like they're slower? It's a slower go?
And with the new job, then you're still working with snakes, it sounds like, which is awesome.
Oh, Patty, you can't have chickens. Everybody can have a support pet there, right?
Yep.
I mean, you have a couple support chickens.
Get a little vest for the guy.
Support hens. Emotional support hens. I mean,
you've got some support hens that come out and say hi to you.
They do. Her name was Madge, and she was wonderful.
Support duck. Lucy come in the barn.
Lucy's on my crap list today.
Oh, I guess not. No more support there.
I love Lucy, our Muscovy duck that just always seems to get out of the fence somehow and comes and visits me and like walks around with me. But tonight she was just being a little butthole when it came to be putting up for the night. I'm like, well, fine, be fox fodder. I don't care.
There it is. Favorite Hill Farm set. Blue Mountain Genetics.
Yep. They donated a free. Really? That's awesome. Well, good for you, girl. Getting the donations in. My Lord. Emma says only had to buy eggs twice. The chickens are finally laying again. Thank goodness. Isn't that sad though that a lot of us are like, thank God the drought's over because like of the prices of it. Where usually before I'd be like, nobody cares about. I mean, they're laying eggs. That's fine. Now I'm like, whoa, these are hot commodities. Remember to put the seatbelt on your seat.
You did talk about that recently.
He wears a seatbelt all the time. Yeah. But I did find out that the reason you shouldn't put it in your car is because when the nitrogen sloshes around, it displaces oxygen and it will suffocate and you could die. I made that joke and I was like, but on a serious note, like, why not? Because like, I don't have this, so I don't know the science that goes with it. She's like, well, you could kill yourself with the displacement of oxygen. I'm like, not so funny anymore, but he does wear his seatbelt everywhere he goes there, and don't worry.
Wow, thousands of food trucks will be there.
What?
That is crazy.
That is insane.
Feel free to post about it on here, like where it's at, what it is.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Quit making me have to put more things on. You can go for the AI
workshop, and I'm just going to be going through.
I know.
Test trying. I don't know. I might need a.
I'm trying to think if I could have a doe like in heat. Will you allow people? So it's a workshop. Are you allowing people to bring does there to AI? Because I have a couple of yearlings that are probably going to be very ready.
Do you want the nightmare of all those food trucks? Sorry, I'm stuck on that. But like how indecisive we would be trying to pick one. Because when we go to the fair, we have so much trouble trying to figure out
We walked
where
the
to
strip
eat.
like 3 times
I don't
trying to
know,
figure
like
out.
something's going to just jump out and be like, this is what we're going to eat. This is going to make our day today.
And then we have to settle. And
And
then
if
we walk
there's
by
thousands,
something. And I'm like, I wish I would have eaten there. They should have like little bite size, like, I don't know. I'm a little overwhelmed at the thought of that many food trucks. So Kaylin says we bought store-bought eggs for a little while, so it was rough. There is no comparison. There really isn't. There's not. We're actually getting ready to break open our water glassed eggs. So I'll probably do a video on that because it's been about 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been about 7 months that they've been down there. They look
think
fine.
We'd use them this early, did we?
They look fine. And I did have like my first jars of potatoes that didn't seal in my pressure canner. Mm-hmm. But I think I put them onto one buckled and then one just like I picked it up and set it down and all of a sudden Mark was sitting there. It's like, he's like, what is that? And I started listening. I'm like, the seal is letting loose right now, but that's why we pick them up like that.
Also due to what you are canning though. We found
potatoes like with high starch, like it just, there's a lot more pressure that builds up because of the starch that comes out of it. So Bomber Steve says, my new job is facilities manager at the Aboriginal Cooperative. So helping vulnerable local community, very fulfilling. I bet that is very fulfilling.
Yeah.
I bet that is very fulfilling.
Job. Like
that's super awesome. Cool, Steve. Like good for you, man. I'm glad that you get to do something that like makes you feel good. What?
Patty.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at me. Patty says, I have an egg in my pocket, dear Marky. Dear Marky, I have an egg in my pocket. In my pocket, there's an egg. We can pay off our mortgage, dear Marky. Dear Marky, we can pay it for our
sort of how that went. I felt like.
But he made fun of me after it. Yeah. Patty, reprimand him.
It's almost like we need to write that down somewhere. That'd be like a.
You need to browbeat him a little bit.
Nursery rhyme now.
He did. He's like, your dad would tell the same joke. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you would. I'm not ashamed of that. So Bomber C says snake catching is part-time. Yes, breeding season delayed this year. Seems to be less snake call out. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I want you to have lots of side hustles, but at the same time, I guess maybe the less they're around humans, the less likely they are to get hurt too if you're not getting that many call outs.
Fibbill Farm says, understand the busy schedule. But selfishly hope we can meet soon. AI is so fun too. I hope AI is not as fun as blood taking, because when Ashley first did her successful syringe pull, she started fist pumping with the syringe
full of blood
while I was holding the goat nearby.
Yeah,
and, I was a little
and my
scared.
Goat mentor was like, "You gotta calm down."
I'm usually not terrified of needles, but that was terrifying. Yeah, even
she's like
the vet tech that came to help us.
Yeah, the vet tech at my vet is basically my mentor. Like whenever I can't figure something out and crap hits the fan, I'm like,
got a needle. Let's put that up first.
She did. She's like, does a really good job, but you might need to calm down. You have a syringe in your hands.
She did stop doing that on her second one, so I was happy to see that. No,
we get to do blood draws this weekend, so that's going to be
done pretty good. She did talk about how sometimes you'll run a needle through it and it'll hit the person holding the goat. You haven't done that yet. I haven't
done that yet.
Thank goodness.
I try to stay down in a way.
Imagine if you sent that off and all of a sudden it came back with weird results. Who knows?
Isn't it though, like if a guy like takes a blood test and it comes up pregnant, don't they have cancer because of like the different things that?
God, I hope not.
I'm not trying to scare you or anything.
Let's not send that one off. No,
I don't know. That was just something that popped into my head.
Pretty terrifying, you know that. All right, let's move on. Bomber Steve said, "Farmers going well. 2 major projects on the go, aiming to make us more self-sufficient with water. We are limited by water and it is holding us back."
I remember that you guys are you guys still going through that bad of a drought there, or is it leveled off?
Because I remember how thankful they got that rain spell and it filled, I think they're like levee up or whatever.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That stinks. You guys are still struggling with that. It's frustrating. A Joe pick for you. I think they were talking about the food trucks.
Could it just be chicken nuggets, like ice cream or something like that?
Yeah, should be like, can we go to McDonald's? Like,
although Mark did culture her and let her have bubble tea. Mm-hmm. She started her guitar lessons this week, and
I had
afterwards,
on a work trip recently, so I had to share.
It's weird. I don't like it. I don't.
You have problems too because
It's a
the
texture thing.
The pearls in it look like goat pellets.
They do look like goat poop.
Yeah.
And the fact that the straw is like this big around and the pearls come up with your drink, I'm like, I feel like I'm slurping jelly beans or something, and it's terrible. And I don't like strawberry. And he got me the strawberry one. I'm like, I don't really like strawberry, like stuff like that. I like strawberries, but like strawberry flavoring, like I'm not a fan. So he's like, is it good? I'm like, I don't, you're chewing and you're trying to drink at the same time. And I'm not cultured enough, but Joe really liked it.
Yeah.
Joe was like, in there, she's like, this is the coolest place ever. I would work here for free.
Yeah.
Like,
I think also it matters the flavors because there's a ton of flavors. So
she got a brown sugar one. I might like the brown sugar one better.
Yep.
Yeah. Joe would pick Baba tea, Ashley. That's what she would like.
Over some of the pricing and
you can AI dough for 25 if she's in heat. Would have to sync her, which that's not we have access to Cedar, so that wouldn't be bad at all. But you must have your own AI equipment. I paid around $200 for my AI stuff to get. That's really not bad. I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's cost effective, and that's really a good way to get varied bloodlines in your herd.
Yeah,
like, you would be able to get bloodlines from somewhere across the country if you went through like Blue Mountain Genetics.
Yeah. Do you have your own tank, or do you go with Hund? I can never pronounce the names. Like Hundholds. That's your mentor herd, right? Or are you guys like sharing a tank with her? Her stock is fantastic.
Yeah,
her stock is fantastic, by the way. Oh, she did ask the same thing. Biogenetic did donate a free complete AI kit raffle.
Oh.
Stop it, Caitlin! Stop.
Hey, she sold me on the food truck, so if you want to go up there, we can.
So Marcus sold for Nashville for Chick Days because it's Nashville, and now you've sold him because
it does not take me much to get going, guys. And then Darren's like, oh, we'll just go to Shot Show.
I'm like, okay. He's like,
Darren, I would probably just hang out with anyway, so it don't matter. He'd be like, hey, let's go Antarctica. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So
we have been pee testing our two Highlands. Oh.
What's that?
What?
Oh, pee testing for pregnant. See if they're pregnant. Oh, that's.
Is the pee test any more or less accurate than a blood test? Because I usually see people do the blood testing, like through the tail vein on cows, which looks so painful. Yeah. I'm like, keep the needle away from the butt.
Yeah. I was asking, did Fable Hills where that event was?
I've got the flyer saved.
Oh, okay.
It's saved actually, like Caitlin, I've got it saved in my phone because when I saw it, I was like, I want to be a part of this somehow. There's been a lot of things come up that I'm like, I really want to go do this and do that.
She's like throwing all these prices out here.
I know.
I actually rented a semen tank for $70, which included the nitrogen fill, delivered to my house, 6-week rental and pickup.
That's not bad though. Like really for 6 weeks, especially like if you know you're only going to need it for a certain amount of time before you get to your clinic. Do you have more straws of your Wolfhaven book? Just wondering.
Do you know what the prices are on straws you normally
have? It depends on the buck. It depends on the line.
I just didn't have any idea what those ballpark.
Yeah. And your AI stuck, didn't it, Kaylin, on your dough? Knocking on so much wood for you in case it didn't, but like knocking on wood. I thought I saw that your first AI did.
With a strong bubble tea.
You don't have to slurp the pearls. It came in the straw. It's like, it didn't even ask permission. Oh my God, like this is going so wrong. It didn't even ask permission. Like the pearl just came up the straw. It surprised me. I was not okay with it.
Did you stop them before you like swallowed them? Did they just like?
Well, I felt it coming. And I was like, no. I stopped them before it went down my goal. I would have choked. They were big enough to choke on.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. So anyway,
dramatic.
So one of my girls likes them, but they both like the tea. I don't like the pearls. The pearls freak me out. They freak me out so bad. And they look like goat turds. So from the side, I'm like, that's what it looks like in the bottom of our dirty water buckets. That looks like goat poo. And it's just very off-putting. It's very off-putting, Emma. I don't know if I can try it again.
Everybody should be alarmed if we do our own Baba tea.
The next time we get Baba tea, I'm going to go live so that you guys can see my reaction to eating it because it's terrible. Because luckily we were driving in the dark. He's like, is it good? I'm like, but I'm like,
yeah,
this is terrible.
Fable Hill Farm says there's a company in Michigan that rents the tank. Shippers, does straw storage, everything. and they were teaching at our workshop about semen tanks, safety, semen quality, etc.
That's cool.
Man, they were just doing like a thorough run through of it.
So
That's
cool.
gonna be awesome.
So Kaylin, was this your idea to have this, or was this your vet, or you guys just like dreamed up, like, hey, we just want to have this? Because I know there was an AI clinic not far from here. It was about an hour and a half, but it was like I already had all my does. I thought I had all of my does bred, and I don't have the equipment already. So I was like, well, it's nice to know that they're doing things like that in the area, but like I didn't get to go to it.
Yep.
I would have liked to have gone to at least just to sit in and watch. So what sparked this? I'm just out of curiosity, unless you've got a video in the making over it, and then I won't spoil anything. If you've got like a video that's going to go over all of that. I've never understood bubble tea. Just something I know. Patty speaks my language. It takes
a little bit to get used to. And you have to have a good
I don't know if I can subject myself to that 2 or 3 more times. The honeydew, I would probably like honeydew. It's just really weird. And he's like, and then there's milk, but I guess milkshakes have milk in them, so I shouldn't be like, well, it's got milk in it. On
my work trip, I had a pink Starburst one. That's what it was.
Really?
But I seriously look like a 10-year-old drinking it because they like put a bunch of whipped cream and like sprinkles. And my coworker, the guy next to me, he's like, I don't know if I should sing happy birthday to you or what.
Was that Sean? Oh, we both work with really, really great people. So like
Sean,
I know who he's talking
Darren
about.
Said sign me up for the food trucks.
I know, for real, right?
That was a winning.
I suspect the blood test would be more accurate. We are hoping the tests are wrong.
Fingers crossed.
You have a bull on site, don't you? Do you? Because that would be another good way to.
Emma, how does a pro not get consent?
I know. I mean,
don't
didn't even
ask
Darren my permission. I know. I was going to say Darren is in the chat, Emma. And when I started talking, I knew. I'm like, we're going to go down a very weird road here, but I couldn't stop because high level, and I don't stay high level.
Fable Hill said something about Wolf of Van.
She says, yes, my doe haggis did settle to Wolf of Van Jack Daniels. Due end of March. Oh my gosh. I have 3 more straws from him. I was going to store in my friend Stacy's tank. That's the herd name I can never pronounce. But I decided to store my semen with that company because I am just rent a tank and get it dropped off during breeding season. That makes sense. Don't know what you mean.
Yeah,
Emma playing coy.
Of course, huge and nail. Like there was just all kinds of stuff around it. Tanks.
Well, it opens up a lot of possibility. And I know like it doesn't always land. And there's a ton of people who are like, I never have good luck with it. But then I've had just as many people say like, I do have good luck with AI, So I mean, it's a great way to gamble and try to get some really, really wonderful bloodlines into your herd without actually having to introduce a biosecurity issue with your buck or with a buck to your does or your does to that buck, depending. So
how long does a chicken take to grow?
How long does a chicken take to grow?
The eggs
the egg, 21 days incubation for a chick, but like for chickens to grow and mature to the point where they can actually lay eggs is dependent on breed. Usually like 6 to 8 months, I think it is like the normal, but there's always exceptions to the rule.
Now, if you want meat chickens, you can get the meat breed and Cornish cross. Yeah. And those grow quick.
Yeah.
If you're looking to butcher.
Meat chickens, like Cornish cross to butcher, anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks is what people usually shoot for. Mo, what's up, Mo? How are you doing? She said, and Caitlin did say, yes, it was my idea. I just wanted to learn more so I can get better at it. And I know I'm not the only one. So I thought I should organize my own AI clinic, and I love planning events. Well, that's really awesome.
Ashley enjoys it. She gets stressed about it. But like the homestaying event you're doing.
We won't talk about that because there are certain things that get me stressed about it. I don't want to, I mean,
but you enjoy
there are just lots of moving parts, but I agree with you, Kaylin. There's something super rewarding about planning events and bringing everyone together to like learn or pull something from the experience.
Like the people we've met have enriched our lives. Like you just meet people,
you guys.
Especially with something you're planning that is close to what you like to do and you have a passion for, and finding people that have similar passions and enjoy doing the same thing. It just makes it easy to chat.
It's community.
I mean, especially for us, we work sort of in a professional environment, and we can't always talk about the stuff we do on the farm with people there, where the homestaying community allows us to do that, which is awesome.
Yeah, like we can talk about semen tanks here being strapped in the front seat and nobody bats an eye. But if I were to say that like in my my group team chat or like in a huddle, they'd be like, and I can diss bubble tea for not asking for consent first. How rude it is. And I can't
there
with
it is.
you.
Is it Iona?
Iona.
Yeah, that's what I was
Ionia. Ionia County Fairgrounds, Ionia, Michigan. May 20th for the food truck rally.
Write that
May
down.
20th for the food truck rally. Also,
see, that's close to my birthday.
Okay.
That can be my birthday gift.
Yeah, and I'm done. I'm done kidding. I'm done kidding by then. There's no. I don't.
We could just also grab my sister and she could.
Yeah, you could come to Ashley. You're riding with us.
Yeah.
Killing the Ohio Dairy Goat show is that day, but I will still write you in.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio Dairy Goat Association shows are that day, but I will still write that in because I think I would probably rather go to that.
That'd be cool. Clinic. You are always interested in learning something new. So
yeah. What are you going to Tri-State again, Kaylin? Just curious. Are you? It's then Mount Pillier, right?
Look at that. Kaylin said I'm right.
What? Someone told you were right?
Because there's a special connection with people when you have a shared passion.
Oh yeah.
And talk about things.
It's true because I do get the dairy goat enthusiast soothed in me because his sister is really into it too. Like she's very serious as well.
Well, she was a judge,
yeah, she's going around. She's got her judging license, so that's that goes to show you have to invest to want to do something like that. So I get soothed in that way, but like I could never talk about that like true dairy goat like breeding or husbandry with just like the Joe Schmo because they just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
They might listen out of politeness, and then the not so polite people might tell me what they really think of me. Gotta run to Ashley. Let's talk about Chick Days. Love you guys. Adios. Bye, Emma. Yep. It was nice talking to you, and we will have to talk about Chick Days.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some others up there.
I know it's written. It's written here though, Kaylin. So it's not out of there. But
Gage asked, "What's the most amount of kids you've had in one kidding?"
In one kidding, quads.
Yeah,
quads. I've had quads. I can't say anything about what I've ultrasounded because there's going to be a giveaway eventually on ultrasound, like guesses. So like I didn't ultrasound every doe in my herd because it was very cold that day, and Miss Kim was wonderful enough to come to my farm and to like go through it with me. Now I'm like shopping for my own ultrasound machine.
You're always shopping.
Yeah, I'm always shopping for something. So I don't want to give that away, but we would love to do a giveaway soon. Yeah. And you have to guess how many kids we're going to have.
I will say commonly they have twins or even triplets.
Multiples are very
Singles,
common.
Much more rare.
Especially in Nigerian dwarfs. I think it's the record 7 live births. There
was one with 8.
Is there one with 8 now?
I thought I saw that.
Lord have mercy.
Or maybe it wasn't Nigerian though. I can't keep track of which.
But quads on our farm. And usually like I've had does that have no problem that they could support quads with how much milk that they make. It just kind of depends on the
how many times we've seen where like one of them will be underdeveloped compared to the others.
Yeah, so we did have one doe that she always gave at least triplets, and the 2 years before that was quads. And every single kidding she always had one that was DOA. Was always dead on arrival.
Underdeveloped.
Yeah, like, it would just you could just tell just behind or it would just be so much as like the teeth weren't erupted, so you knew like, oh, this probably died like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, whereas the rest carried on and we're all full-term babies. So it's very, very odd how that goes sometimes. Are you guys planning on going to Danville? Yes, we are going to go to the Hoosier Classic. And Kaylin's going to be Tri-State. I gotta write that down. What's the dates on Tri-State, Kaylin? You don't have to answer them if you don't have them in front of you. I've been trying to write them in as I find them, but because ADGA's super wonderful about keeping everything updated on their sites. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
But we are going to be at the Hoosier Classic in Danville. Definitely planning on that. The only thing that I kind of hate about that is that Battle on the Bluegrass down in Kentucky is the same week, and that's held by Carson Farms. And we would really like to go do that, but it's on the same weekend as the Hoosier Classic, and Hoosier Classic is just is here. So we are.
Evelyn's heading out. So have
Hello,
a good night.
Kate.
So Patty.
How are you? I'm not used to Odd Paw yet, Kate. I know that's you. Yeah, I know that's you. So hello. We will see. You need to get going, Patty. It was nice seeing you. Thank you so much for stopping in and talking. We really enjoyed seeing you.
No, I had a question.
And Evelyn has to run. Mo says, Mark, Ashley, are you expecting bad weather by you?
Hope not. I didn't hear anything. I know it's raining
right now.
A little windy today, but
it was very windy yesterday.
I'm like looking out the windows. I didn't see like the shrubbery blowing around.
Do you know something we don't know, Mo?
Yeah.
I know there's been terrible tornadoes and stuff like down south. I really feel for people.
Kaylin said she wants an ultrasound machine so bad. I'll be honest, they're amazing. So Kim Grind,
so cool.
Who was in this chat earlier, I don't know if she's still here. She brought hers out, and it was cool. I actually was able to run it for a little bit.
Yeah,
and honestly, it was a quick learning.
It was really easy to do. I know probably you did it with Stacy, right? Curve. I don't know if Stacy has her own, but I'm sure Stacy was with you when you ultrasounded yours.
Oh, so she's
she has. Okay. She's familiar with it, but it's super cool. Like it's just weird, like to look at it and be like, that's its spine and those are its ribs, and if they sit right, you're like, I might be able to tell the gender right here, but I'm not really sure because the way things are looking, you're like, that looks a lot like something. I'm like, you can leave the ornaments off later if you'd like, dear doe. It would be okay. June 17th and 18th is the tri-state. Okay, I might already have it written down. Thank God I've got my planner here, guys.
Mo said that we're looking at a line of storms early morning. I'll just write it down in there too, just in case things change.
We will write that down, Tri-State. Oh my gosh, why are so many on the same day? Tri-State and Battle of the Bluegrass are on those.
That like they aren't working a bit with each other.
I know Battle of the Bluegrass just forgot that's always on the same weekend.
Oh wow, so 3 big ones, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that should increase odds at any show because they're all spread out.
I'm hoping some of the big Kentucky breeders stay down for Battle with the Bluegrass and just leave Hoosier Classic alone. Like because if Cedar View comes, forget it. Forget it.
They're so crazy.
Anybody that shows goats or like has followed bloodlines, Gage, I think I actually remember you. Were you at the Howl? If you're still in here, I'm pretty sure you were at Howl at the Moon, weren't you? Because I'm pretty sure you were right behind me in like one of those like junior doe classes, or it was like a yearling milker. I cannot remember because your name is super duper familiar. Super duper familiar.
Kaylin said Donnie is coming to ultrasound the last stragglers this weekend, but Stacy and I did also the herd a while back. So fun seeing babies, but I'm still only looking at twins on most.
Is Hoosier 10 and 11? I'll have to go back and look, Ashley. Oh my gosh.
They're losing track.
I know.
But Kaylin said most of hers were twins.
Most of yours are twins. That's super cool. That is super cool. It was just really neat seeing like all of them in there. Or like the ones where you're like, I think that's another one, but like I'm not seeing an independent movement in that bubble. So I'm not sure. Like I could put like a question mark next to it, but it's kind of crazy. Did you read this out loud already?
Yeah, that's what I just read.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'm looking at my planner trying to get all of it done. So I'm not, did you read this one?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm not sure. Kaylin says, I'm not sure if it's genetics or what, but I don't ever see like quads or anything though. Someone was talking and I think it was Kim when we were ultrasounding because it was actually Willow who was on the stand. I'm like, Willow, I need more than 2 from you this year, which doesn't matter anymore. But she's like, how old is Willow? And we were talking, I'm like, yeah, for like the last 3, she's actually had, she's had twins. And she's like, well, because she's 7 now, she's like, she probably will just keep giving you twins. Like, it does seem like they have like a propensity. She's like, she might give you triplets, but it seems like odds are like they stay pretty specific. And I do think it has to do with genetics because Tiana was the same way. She always gave quads or triplets, Haley gave me quads last year. That was a terrible mishap for her going early. We got squeaks out of it, but it looks like she could possibly hold true or go over. So it looked like, because there were some in there where I'm like, I will go ahead and just say it, even for giveaway, but I counted for sure 3 at the very least. But there were other bubbles in there. I'm like, that could be another one, and this could be another one, and this could be another one. But it's also one of those things, like they're so early in their gestation, because I think she was just at 45 days, like 45-ish days. So I'm like, some of these might still slop off. Like she might still absorb a couple of these. So it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, it looks like there's a lot in there, but they might not all make the term.
Ashley said,
Gage, you were. Yay. I remembered.
He said, remember talking to you during the buck show for a little bit.
With my 2 ridiculous bucks that just would not stop.
A little overexcited.
They're like that year round though. I was out there the other day and no dozer in heat. There was no reason for them to be acting crazy. And I'm like, why are you still being such little jerks? They're just randy little jerks.
Ashley said she never has quads either. Oh, and I have one that has singles several times.
I'm praying that does not happen to you this time, because that's so frustrating.
I remember, I think you had to go, you bounced to double check the one.
Yeah, because I was like, there is no way that she has them. We bounced her. I'm like, yeah, she's done.
Kate asked, have you seen the pregnancy P tests for goats and sheep?
I have.
We were just talking about that with Darren on his cattle.
Yeah, and I have seen those, and I've seen some people say like they always tell them the right thing, but I don't know. If I buy an ultrasound machine, and a lot of my girls are really good about like when they cycle, like they're good cyclers. I probably could count on
there's Margie.
1 or 2. Margie, hello.
Hey, Margie,
hi. You're okay to be late. It's not a big deal, Margie. We're happy you're here.
We're glad you're here.
But I do have like 1 or 2 that they have just very, very soft, almost ghost heats. And the only way I can usually tell is because I have like weather that he might stay just to be a teaser. I don't know, because I'm actually starting to like him. I don't know how hungry I'll be when it's springtime. He might go in the freezer. But he's been really good about telling me when I have a doe that one of those ghost heats is happening, because like you can't fool them. You know, they can fool me, but the pheromones that those bucks or wethers are picking up, they can't fool the bucks and they can't fool the wethers. So that's been like a godsend for me, because I do have some that do not cycle very strongly. But I mean, aside from them, like really their cycles have been good enough to tell me if they have a confirmed pregnancy, the ultrasound. And we already pull blood tests like on everybody in the herd anyways for biosecurity panel testing for the big nasty 3. So it just it's a little more expensive. I do think I have 1 or 2 that I will probably blood test to confirm like next weekend, but I have seen those. I would love. Are you using those? Because you've got sheep.
She said she bought some for sheep, but hasn't been able to get any samples.
I hear you have to hover, like, and wait for them to lay down and like sneak up, and as they get up to move, usually because goats are the same way.
Give them coffee. Coffee makes them go bathroom.
They'll make them poop.
That's true. Don't want that on the
need
strip.
A fecal test. We need
help.
a urine test. But if they're like the goat does, like in the mornings, it's funny because like when I go to let them out, everybody stands up and takes a pee right away. So that would be like the perfect time if you need help getting that.
Kids say your bucks are ridiculous, and I love them.
I'm glad that you love them. They're stinky.
Caitlin said earlier that she tried flushing her does, but it didn't change the results.
It didn't change the result. There are some people that like swear by that, and some people are like, it doesn't do anything. I tried flushing this year, but here's the thing. It's not going to help me a whole lot because I either have like older does or I have first timers. Yeah. So I'm like, I can't really tell if it's going to impact a first timer. You know, I didn't see many singles. I'm giving you guys lots of clues for this giveaway, but I did not see many singles when we were ultrasounding. Not many singles at all, which was good for me. I was like, yes, because that means milk production. They can help me if I need to take a break or for some reason go on a trip to an AI clinic without having to milk. You know,
said I got an old person grabber sticking some cups, sitting there like a crazy person.
Did you film this? Please,
yeah.
Please,
I
Kate,
imagine if people could like catch us in the act of stuff on farms. People would, I swear, think we're crazy.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Caitlin did say she has 6 does due between March 9th, 3rd and 9th.
Ooh,
that's close to your time.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly nervous as that alone is more does than I've ever freshened in a single year.
You will be okay.
Fingers crossed.
You will be okay.
Yeah.
I promise. You be amazed. Like, and I'm not trying to scare you, but when we have all those does like on the same dates, I think it's the 16th of March.
Skip that comment. She's talking about selling a buck. We don't need any more bucks.
What? Stop it. Stop. Don't scroll. Calm down. Calm down.
I would say that does sound like enticing buck, but we did just pick up Lou at a show. I talked her into a buck at a show.
Yeah, he talked me into a goat.
He's pretty, though.
Yeah. We don't care if he's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
He's conformationally correct.
That's pretty.
Okay. Mark's pretty means conformationally correct.
Yeah, we picked one up our last goat show. So I think we're up to 3 on the premises.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, my fingers are crossed for you, Kaylin.
If anybody else is in here looking for a buck.
Yeah, if anybody else wants, and Detour comes from.
Nice
song. And he looks great, Kaylin. Like, really, he looks really good.
Well, good coach for crazy. Good thing we're pretty well versed in it. So I don't think we need a coach.
So if I ever need help, I'm going to be like Mo.
If you want to take the coaching position for it, you're good.
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy.
Kate says she hasn't yet filmed that.
You should. I really feel like you should. And it could be hilarious. You never know. That could be your big break. But Kayla, I'm going to tell you, we have like a date where we have 7 does due. And I expect at least in that span to have multiples going at one time. Because it always happens when you have that many like stacked on top of one another. You're going to have, they're going to just feed off of one another cycles. It's crazy. Although, yeah. I want to see that. He did get you there, Ashley. Conformationally correct equals pretty.
Yep.
He did. At least he admitted that's what he meant to say.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but we probably should start wrapping things up. I'm looking outside and it's like starting to get really windy and rainy. And I did not take out the garbage yet. So I got to do that.
I need to take out the garbage.
You got ahead of things by putting up the animals. So.
Yeah, but I got to get the garbage out of the barn.
So, and plus we've kept them for a good while.
You guys a little bit over the hour marker.
We had an awesome time.
But I had a great time talking to you guys. And Kaylin, thank you for adding something else to my
calendar.
To my planner here. Now I have to go back and look at all of the different show dates because I think I put some on the wrong days. Chick days with Ann.
Definitely interested.
And then Darren was talking about SHOT, which that's next year. We know, we get that. But
that would be like a dream.
Yeah. But we are going to log off here so we can run a lap down to the very end of our driveway.
Apparently, we need to buckle down the hatches because most said that severe storms like that.
Well, I was looking actually at the radar and it's going from blue to like light pinks and yellows. Ooh, so thank you, Mo, for the heads up for making me look because, probably needed to be aware of that. Yeah. But I guess, guys, that's us signing off so that we hope that you are all staying safe out there. You are all being kind to one another. We'll catch you in the next one. God bless you all. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. God bless.
You get that already?
Nope, I didn't.
Oh, not yet. Bye.